Has quick thinking ever saved your life? I was driving home from this car show in the middle of nowhere, probably around 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm a mechanic, so these weekend shows are my thing, but this one ran way later than usual. The highway was basically empty except for me and maybe two other cars I'd seen in the last hour. That's when I spotted this beat-up sedan about a quarter mile ahead of me, swerving all over the place. At first I thought the driver was drunk or texting. Then I saw smoke start pouring out from under their hood, and they pulled over to the shoulder. My first instinct was to help. I've been fixing cars since I was 16, and I always carry tools in my truck. Plus, nobody deserves to be stranded out here in the middle of the night. I started slowing down, already thinking about what could be wrong with their engine. But something felt off as I got closer. I could see 3 people near the car, but none of them were looking at the smoking hood. Instead, they were all crouched down behind the vehicle, like they were hiding. Nobody was waving for help. Nobody even looked at me as I approached. That's when my gut screamed at me to keep driving. So I hit the gas and flew past them without stopping. In my rearview mirror, I watched all 3 of them stand up and stare at my truck. One guy was pointing at my license plate. My heart started pounding because I realized what almost happened. This wasn't a breakdown. This was a setup. And now they'd seen my truck and probably my plate number. I drove maybe 3 miles down the road, my hands shaking on the steering wheel, when I saw headlights gaining on me fast. Same sedan, no more smoke. Their engine was fine. They were following me. The next exit wasn't for another 15 miles, and there were no other cars around. I had to think fast. I remembered I had a box of roadside flares in my truck bed from a job last month. I'd been meaning to return them to my boss, but kept forgetting. I pulled into this tiny rest stop that was basically just a parking lot and some vending machines. I popped my hood, grabbed the flares, and set them up across the road like there'd been an accident. I even threw one of my old work jackets on the ground to make it look like someone had gotten hurt and was lying there. Then I hid behind the dumpster and waited. 5 minutes later, the sedan crept into the rest stop real slow. The driver got out and walked toward my fake accident scene, probably thinking he'd caught up to me and I'd crashed or broken down. He stood there for maybe 30 seconds, looking around confused. That's when he realized something was wrong. The jacket wasn't moving. There was no actual damage, no broken glass. He ran back to his car, yelling something to the other guys inside, but I'd already gotten what I needed. I saw their license plate clear as day and memorized it before they took off. I called the cops from the rest stop payphone and gave them the plate number and description. Turns out that car was stolen and tied to a string of highway robberies over the past 2 months. 3 guys were targeting lone drivers on rural roads, faking breakdowns to get people to stop. The police caught them at a gas station about 50 miles south 2 hours later. Apparently my fake accident scene had spooked them enough that they'd changed their whole route trying to avoid me.